All right, so this Knife Thoughts video is another one that I'm really excited for because these are just fun. This is going to be an unboxing video of this Smoky Mountain Knife Works subscription box, thanks to my friend Dan.
How's it going, guys? Glad to be here.
Back again. We did this once before for the September box. This is the October box, and I'm excited to open it up. So I'll give Dan the honors of actually cutting the thing open, and we'll see what we got.
Well, Logan, let's show them what we're carrying today first, right?
Yeah,
Just
that's a great idea.
Because I like your knife, dude.
Yeah, so I am going to use my Great Eastern Cutlery 2AB, which we think is 2 Acorn Barlow in rust orange natural bone, to open the knives themselves while Dan reads some info about them.
And on the other side of the spectrum, I'm going more budget-friendly over here with the Meadowlark 2. I got this off the Going Gear subscription box. This was the knife of the month for them. Jury's still out, only carried it for a couple days, but good, sturdy budget lockback. So here we go, guys. It's also really sharp. They got really sharp out of the factory.
That's what I've had from Spyderco as well as Bird.
On that. All right, so we're going to try and do this carefully here so as to not divulge where I'm from or any of my info on that. Let's take that out.
Right on top.
All right.
Nice and easy.
We got it. All right, go ahead.
All right, let's get these flaps open here. And some nice packing paper.
So I'll get that, and I'll get the paper ready to go.
So right off the bat here, I know a lot of people in the Smoky Mountain Knife Works Army Facebook group page really like this sticker, particularly, I guess, the Sasquatch sticker in general, and this one is like a Jason, is that who that is? With the
Yeah, that's a Jason.
Jason's Sasquatch.
That's
so.
Jason Squatch.
And that is a very large sticker also. I don't really have small hands, and that thing's pretty big, so I don't know where you're going to put that one, Dave.
Yeah, no, I collect them actually, so
cool.
I don't really use them, like it's kind of novelty or anything.
And I'm going to move this out of the way so we can start to...
Yeah, let's take this stuff out.
Yeah.
And then we will, we'll go one at a time with this, and we'll put it back on the screen in 1 second, guys. On here, ooh, we got, what is this? I don't even know.
Cool little extra. Some more stickers.
All right, we got some more stickers. Bladers King. Oh, man. And then, obviously, all the candy in the world. So, Logan, do you want to pick a piece?
I sure will. I love these things.
There you go. All right, let's take that box out and let's put this stuff just out here so you can see the contents at least. And then we'll go one by one with them. So, we have the information. It's confidential for the people who buy these boxes, and we're going to go through the GI box, then we're going to go through the Officers Club box, and finally we'll round it out with the Generals box. So, first things first, in the GI box we have the BU 13090 Buck Trunk Black G10 liner lock. Now we know what the Buck, the Buck cases look like, so that's pretty easy to grab. It features a 2.875 7CR stainless steel cleaver blade with a satin finish and a blade thickness of 0.11 inches. It's a manual flipper opener with a thumb stud. This liner lock has black G10 handles with a tip-up pocket clip. It's 4 inches closed, 6.875 inches overall, and weighs 3.1 ounces. Smoky Mountain Knife Works, everyday price, $19.99.
So I actually was not aware of this knife previously. And it is definitely a cleaver. You can see that. And first couple flips here, I got to tell you, it's not the smoothest, not the strongest detent, but let's see how the thumb stud does. Actually, there we go. If you get underneath it, but you can see I'm unlocking it here. It is not super smooth. So let's take a look inside here. It does actually look like one side is phosphor bronze and then the other side is Teflon or something like that.
Do they do that sometimes?
Yeah.
Where they put one in one?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I've seen that before. It actually does feel pretty good in the hand to me. The blade, it kind of amounts to a very gradual curve, and you can see that it has a kind of hollow saber grind. But what are your thoughts on this one here, Dan?
So you said the flipper's a bit sticky. Probably probably some KPL or some minor adjustments. It's almost coming out for me, but this is definitely not. This is not a push button. This is definitely a flip switch here, and I'm still not able to fully close it.
Pretty close.
So.
I do think if you adjusted that a little bit, it would be better.
Also, these budget knives, like, if you take them apart, they have some gunk in them sometimes and stuff. I mean, it's the tolerances are a little... Is it centered? Yeah, it seems pretty centered.
Yeah, pretty well centered.
Pretty cool, though. I like black plane knives like this with G10. I like the G10 texture. And I don't have a lot of cleavers, so this one will be a good one to try out.
And that's kind of getting into it early, but... one of the nice things for you about these subscription boxes is that it lets you try things relatively new to knives, and so you don't have a cleaver in your collection. That's a good way for you to add something like that.
Yeah, and see if I like it for the lower price at least or whatever. All right, the next one is going to be the RR 1886, so Rough Rider Easy Money Stockman. All the knives in the Rough Rider Easy Money series feature mirror polished 440A stainless steel blades with matte strike pulls. The handles are genuine shredded U.S. currency. Really? U.S. currency under clear acrylic with brass liners and nickel silver bolsters. Stockman features a clip point, pen blades, and Warncliffe blades. It's 4.375 inches closed and weighs 3.8 ounces. Smoky Mountain Knife Works everyday price $14.99.
So, I really like these Easy Money. I have a Canoe in this series, and it's kind of garish, but I like garish handled traditional knives. It's kind of it's more traditional than you would think. A lot of knives have had this type of weird, unusual handles, but you can see there are bills in there. It's not completely throughout, so that's interesting. I feel like it's maybe a little less than the one that I have, but it definitely has those in there under that clear acrylic, and you can see the layer of actual bills and then clear there.
That's crazy.
Let's look at some gaps on this one, which it's a Rough Rider. It's not a huge deal if there's some gaps. Springs maybe sit a little low. See the centering. Looks pretty good, although this main blade, if you see that there, Dan, it looks pretty curved.
Yeah, it looks,
So we'll have to see about that, but pretty good action. Snaps closed for sure. No blade play on that one that I can feel. I do like this etch. It's nice and simple. It's kind of a, if it's going to be called Easy Money, I like that it has that.
Easy. There's no such thing as easy money, folks.
Yeah, but
except
there
when
we
it's shredded.
Yeah, when it's shredded, I guess it's a little easier, huh? There's the sheep foot. Same deal. No blade play. I'm actually surprised on some of these triple bladed Rough Riders. I have had blade play. Not on that one either. And so that's kind of one thing I was wondering. It said that it's a pen blade, but this, in my opinion, doesn't have a pen blade. So this is what I would call a spade blade.
Yeah, spade blade, yeah.
And they do have all have, the matte strike long pulls. But I would say that this has a sheep foot, a Turkish clip point, and then a spade blade. So...
Which coincidentally I never use a spade blade because I don't really hunt with skin, but
or castrate animals. Very
much.
Exactly.
So I love my Rough Riders. This just proves I know there's the big heated debate between Chinese and American made, and I love my American made knives. But look at the fit and finish on a $14 knife, and if anyone wants to argue with me, I'll show you a case that is 10 times worse than this for $100.
Yeah.
I'm just saying out there. I'm not saying that Chinese knives are the best. I'm just saying that they've gotten to the point where fit and finish is mirroring our quality knives here.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, honestly, too, this is not the. I would say that this is maybe the average, but certainly not above average in quality for a Rough Rider. I think I've found, especially recent Rough Riders are really, pretty surprisingly good quality.
Yeah, for sure. All right, moving on here. Next, we have the ZP41795 Zippo Windy Goddess Lighter. First Zippo I've ever seen in one of these SMKW packages, but the Zippo Windy Goddess Lighter features all metal construction with a black matte finish and a full color Windy Goddess of Zippo graphic. It's 2.25 inches overall and weighs 2 ounces. Smoky Mountain Knife Works everyday price $9.99.
So this is actually the same price as like if you needed a Zippo at Walmart or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like there's some kind of history to this. It says born in 1937, Wendy became the goddess of Zippo.
Yeah, no idea.
There must be some kind of history
Yeah.
that, I'm sure some people watching this will probably already know, but I'll have to look into. It almost looks like a 30s kind of type design there that she's lighting her cigarette. Got your warning. What are your thoughts on that, Dan?
Well, this is interesting because I just bought a whole big zipper fluid lighter because in my other subscription box I got a Toe Hill anodized lighter, like a waterproof lighter, and that required. Yeah. So I guess I have a bunch of Zippo lighter to use.
There you go, yeah.
There you go. I mean, I'm not a Zippo guy. I don't smoke cigarettes, right, or anything like that. So I'm not going to use it for everyday use. But when I need fire, Zippos are always good. So.
Yeah, a lot of people collect Zippos too, and one interesting thing I'm sure a lot of people watching this know, but case is actually, we were talking about case. Case is. Well, actually, I don't know if you said case, but you said American. And, okay.
Yeah, we said case, and they own Zippo, right?
No, the opposite.
Or Zippo owns
case.
Yeah.
So
gotcha. But yeah, Zippos are always quality. Now, I know with Zippos, like this is like budget end, right? Mm-hmm. There's Zippos that are $100. Like the monthly Knife Club subscription box that I get has a like $100 subscription Zippo box. So you get like one Zippo, and it's like one of 300.
And that's a great example of like. Any hobby like knives, you can get really into.
Exactly. I'm not upgraded to that yet. But all right, let's move on here. The last item in the GI box is the PDM ATTAN 10 SMKW mat. All right, so we got a mat. Let's move these guys out of the way really quick here and just show them the mat. This tan rubber mat features a waterproof textured surface with the SMKW logo. It's 16 inches long and 8.5 inches wide. SMKW everyday price, $9.99.
So what I see this as is like a shop mat type thing where, you can disassemble your knives on it and things like that. And it is nice to have one of these where, first of all, the texture, it feels kind of like tacky, so things aren't going to slide right off. But also, you see that it has this edge around it.
Yep.
Like, I actually don't have like a mat that I use, but when I am disassembling knives, I make sure it's on something where there's a lip.
Yeah,
right?
because those T6s are
you'll never find
they'll
them.
fly out of the way. Yeah, for sure.
And I know you've been wanting to do some modding and things like that, so I'm sure that'll be good for you when you're doing that, when you're disassembling things.
I haven't gotten into like heavy modding yet. I'm still learning the knife anatomy, metallurgy, all that kind of stuff. But when we get there, it would be good to have something like that for sure. All right, so fellas, this is what's in the GI box. Now the GI box is $29.99 plus shipping, so you're looking at $35, $36, something like that. And this is all you get. Including the mat as well. So let's go on to the Officers Club box, which is the next step up. That's a $100 box, and shipping is free, so you just pay for tax as well.
So that first box is $30, but then there's shipping.
Shipping and tax. So there's like $3 in shipping for the first class, and there'll be a couple bucks for tax depending on where you live. All right, so Officers Club box, we have the KA1314SF K-Bar USSF Spacebar exclusively from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Features a 7-inch 1095 Crovan German steel clip point blade with a black powder coated finish and an SMKW exclusive brown leather and black coated steel handle. The full tang fixed blade is 0.16 inches thick and with a black coated steel garden pommel. It's 11.87 inches overall and weighs 10.4 ounces. Smoky Mountain Knife Works everyday price of $74.99.
Well, I'll tell you, I think, the first thing that comes to my mind when I take this out is like, that's just like classic. Like, I remember when I was younger going to camp, and one of my friends had one of these K-bars, and we just beat the like ever living crap out of it, like throwing it, all that kind of stuff. And it took all of it. And I love the look of these stacked leather handles. I mean, I just think they look super, super classic. And you do get some grip because of these cutouts here. Now, I've never really liked this type of guard on a knife. It gets in the way, I think, for me when using it, unless I'm fighting Nazis or whatever. But,
knife fighting.
Yeah. But the cool thing, this logo for K-Bar is definitely different, kind of spacey, and the USSF.
So Smoky Mountain Knife Works has come out with knife makers and stuff have come out with exclusive U.S. Space Force, because K-Bar is a really big name, right?
Yeah.
Marine knife. Now this is not the Marine knife originally,
this is the Space Force
but it's now they're making the Space Force knife. So high quality leather sheath as well, I believe, right?
Yeah, that looks nice.
Yeah, that smells like leather. Very leathery. May I have that for a sec?
Yeah.
I just want to test this. See, K-Bar always does a good job with their leather. Just give it a little bit of, see, this is not going to come out. It's very nice. Sometimes they give you 2 of these, but it's unnecessary, really. So, cool knife, though. It's the first K-Bar I ever owned.
Well, that can be from when you're like running through the woods.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Hunting a deer down by hand, right?
First, let me learn how to hunt a deer with a weapon.
That's pretty cool, though. I think that's, considering the other stuff here, if you're paying $100 and you're into that type of knife, I think I'd be happy with that.
Absolutely. I mean, fixed blades is still. I'm learning about them, and I'd rather collect flippers or folding knives at the moment. But there's a special place in my heart for.
Well, I think for a lot of people, for me, I can't carry fixed blades, or I could, but I just don't because it's not as convenient for me as much as a folding knife. But I just like them. I think that they're just really cool, classic.
Yeah. And a well done fixed blade will last you forever.
For sure, yeah.
For sure. All right, moving on, guys. Next in the Officers Club, we got the KA1308 K-Bar gun tool. The K-Bar gun tool features a sturdy aluminum handle with S2 tools, Allen head, 1/8 inch, 3/32, 5/32, 005 flat head, a bunch of more flat heads that I'm not going to say, a bunch more torque screws that I'm not going to mention here, and a punch. Overall, it's 7.25 inches and weighs 5.5 ounces. Everyday price for Smoky Mountain Knife Works is $19.99.
So this is a hefty tool here. I mean, so my understanding from talking to my cousin who's super into building ARs and stuff like that is that something like this would be used for that, right? Like putting together, taking apart, and modding ARs. I'm not familiar. You're much more familiar.
Especially if building your own, right?
Yeah.
Like you can buy an AR, like a pistol AR or short barrel rifled AR, but some people love to build their own too. So this would be a great tool to probably have. I personally don't own any. Not assault grade, but assault like rifles almost.
Yeah.
I have,
whatever
I've had handguns before and stuff, and some of them still use those types of screws and stuff. So I'm sure it'll come handy down the line for me, but for now, I don't see me using that every single day.
Yeah, probably not. If you're using it every day.
Yeah, you're doing something if you're using it every day. All right, so that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Officers Club box at $100. So remember, you get the GI and the Officers Club box. Now we're going to go on to the Generals box, which usually has 1 or 2 items, and they're the premier items. So here, I got it wrong.
It wasn't what you thought,
I got it wrong. Here we have the SPC 223 PBBK Spyderco Para 3 lightweight black FRN handles. Features a 2.95 inch CTS BD1N clip point blade with a black finish and blade thickness of 0.145 inches. It's a manual opener with a round hole. This compression lock has black FRN handles with a reversible tip-up pocket clip and a lanyard hole. It's 4.29 inches closed, 7.21 inches overall, and weighs 2.5 ounces. Smoky Mountain Knife Works everyday price, $119.99.
Tell you the first thing I think about this one, I haven't seen a blacked out Para 3. It looks pretty good. I personally love the Spyderco wire clip. It works really well for me. It's unobtrusive, and I think all of that with the black coating looks good. Let's see how it opens here. I'm gonna do the middle finger.
Go for it. Spidey flick. Look at that.
That's nice. Let's see how it drops. Oof. This thing is smooth. I want to see. No play either. I am surprised.
How's the centering?
That is nice. The centering, I can't even see it on camera.
Yeah, it's black on black.
It's pretty good. It's not 100% perfect. I don't want to. Let's see if we can get it to. There we go. So a millimeter or two towards the clip side there, but I'll tell you what.
It's coated too, so
that's smooth.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that about the Para 3, I actually had one. I got one for a really great price from someone on Instagram. I was happy with how it used because I typically would hold it like this. You get the finger choil, the 50-50 choil, and the thumb ramp, and you get a pretty good grip on it. Now, I cannot anywhere near get all 4 fingers in the main grip area, but because this FRN model, the FRN version, is pretty rounded there, it never created a hot spot. I can grip it and my pinky finger kind of falls off the edge there. So is this your first time?
Yeah, this is the first time I get a Para anything.
Cool.
So I never had a Para 2 or a Para 3 or whatever. First of all, inaugural Spidey flick. Oh, Oh, that's not good. Oh, one
I
more.
think you have to get used to the grip.
Yeah, and also the pocket clip usually gets me as a left-handed.
And it's reversible.
Yeah, it's the pocket clip's reversible as well, but if it's up here, sometimes I don't get a good grip on it. How do you close this? I've never dealt with a compression lock.
One thing for left-handedness. I think that the compression lock is not as ambidextrous as some locks, like a back lock. You have to pull this inward. So
Pull
push
it inward. Oh, I see. And it comes straight down. But as a left-hander, I see my hands there, so I'm not going to see. What he's saying is as a left-hander, instead of my right hand pushing this down like this, right, and getting my fingers out of the way, with my left hand, I kind of have to go around, and this gets dangerous because you don't want this to come down on your fingers. So
for a right-handed person, you can use your index finger to close it, whereas for you as a left-handed person, it looks like your thumb is easier to close it.
So I'll have to actually I'm sure there's left-handers that have this and stuff, and I'm sure there's a way to get around it, but I'll have to mess around with that and see what's going on with that. But that's cool. I thought that was another Tenacious, to tell you the truth, just because of the FRN, and I was like,
Well, I think that really does round out the pricing for sure. If it had been a Tenacious, I think that's a big difference in value between.
What's the blade steel on this?
I think those are CPMS. Oh no, that's a CTS BD1N.
I've never heard of CTS BD1N.
So it's not, I would say, a super steel for sure. I'd say it's more of like a mid-range steel at this point. Some people might claim that it's a low-end steel, but in my opinion, I have used it quite a bit. Cutting, actually, with a Para 3, I cut a whole bunch of insulation, which is hard on an edge, and it did really well. It kept a good working edge.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's probably why it's the 119 price, and you're not seeing it at 200 with like some of the super steels. All right, Logan, what do you think?
So I think that this one kind of hit my interests maybe a little bit more than the last one did. So I wouldn't have a whole lot of use for this, to be honest. But this knife, I would like to own that knife. I think that it's a very classic, cool knife. The Easy Money, I definitely like Easy Money, and Rough Rider, I like those knives. The Buck, I probably wouldn't carry, but I think that would be one that would be nice as like a gift. And I think that's one of the values of this, is you can give these to people and things like that. The Zippo, I don't have a whole lot of use for, but it's kind of interesting. I am interested now in the history of that. And I got to tell you, I'm pretty impressed by this. I think that is a nice knife, as long as it works for you, as a left-handed person.
Oh, absolutely, and I'll give it a try. And again, like Smoking Out Knife Works does a pretty good job with the General's box. Like I got a bug out two packages ago, right? The exclusive one. So they don't skimp out. Like this happens to be on the lighter side at 119. I've had a $200 plus knife in that General's box before, so All right, man. Well, thanks for helping me open this up, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm interested. What are your thoughts on this box?
I like it better than the last box. Now, I must say, the little knife that we got, the Asanzo, I fell in love with.
Oh, you have?
I talked crap on it in the last video. I was like, I'm not sure that I fell in love with it. It's just such a good secondary knife, just for small things or whatever. And like that edge will retain forever. It's M390. So
for sure.
On that, but no, I enjoy all these boxes. It's not for everyone. Disclaimer, I'm not saying go and buy this box. If you like variety, if you like mystery, if you don't want to choose your knife, or if you have too many to choose from and just want to be surprised, this is for you. This is not for you if you have $200 and you want a Benchmade bug out.
Knife.
Okay, or if you want a Rat 2 and only have $40 or whatever. You know what I mean? So take it as you will. I enjoy the heck out of these, but it's not for everyone.
Yeah. Well, I have really enjoyed getting to check them out. I appreciate Dan giving me the opportunity. It seemed like people enjoyed the video last time, so I hope you enjoy this one. If so, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Also, you can subscribe and click the bell so you know when I post other videos. Make sure you check out my social media. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, everything like that at Knife Thoughts, and my website, knifethoughts.com, where I post articles on knives like this and knife related topics. And last but not least, as always, don't forget to go out and do good.